In the upper left, you'll see there's an export and an import button. So we're going to export. And this can be in any location you want. Typically, I would say a server location, but you can just take the default. If you want to, you can create a new folder here to put it in. And yeah, just stick it right there, it'll be fine. Okay, open that folder. And we're going to call this, hang on, we're going to give this a name. We're going to call it Customer ABC. Again, you can call these whatever you want. And we're going to save it. Okay. You can go ahead and close now. Start me a new order. When I start a new order, I'm going to get my default variable values. Go ahead and draw in that one door base, and let's have a realistic view. Okay, so this is what it looks like with our default values. All right, let's go back to order-related variables. So main data or article designer both have it. So now I want to import all those changes I made for that customer. So we're going to hit the import button. Okay, go right to that folder, select it, and open. Okay, so that just changes the values that we saved. Go ahead and open up your job order setup. Material settings, case parts, or case materials, case parts. You should be able to stretch that column wider there, Robert, the order value column.
Yes.
Up at the top, see if you can find a grab point. It should be a stretch point somewhere. Okay, so we can see it loaded in, not our default, but it loaded in our black melamine that we had saved. Go down to front settings. Number 20, front settings. And gap settings. And if you look at your left and right, we had those set at an 8, so it brought those in rather than our default. So any value, what you're doing when you're exporting is you're exporting the values assigned to the variables. Importing them brings them all back in, whatever setups you want to make. Go ahead and apply. Regenerate, yes. So that changes that to black, and you go to a top, yep, you should have your 1/8" gaps.
Yep.
Okay. And again, if you want to just change one article on the project, article-related variable, whatever variable you need to change it. Any questions about order-related and article-related variables?
I get a question. Can we use this to set up different type of materials? Like say we want refrido cabinets, pre-finished cabinets, or is there another way to handle doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you've got different, material configurations that you use on a regular basis, absolutely. Start an order, set up all those materials, export it,
Right.
Call it whatever you're going to call it, and then you can just import it on a new project. This is what I want. You're ready to go. Yeah, don't reinvent the wheel every time. If you've got a standard, if you've got 6 standard setups, start a new project, set all those orders, and export them. Then you'll be ready to go the next time you need it.
Okay. I got another question about sometimes we do jobs and we have 2 different types of setup. Like one wall will be painted, the other wall will be required oak. How do we handle that in here?
Okay, so remember that an order is one drawing. If you're going to draw both of those rooms in the same drawing, then probably the best thing to do is set your order value for one room and then do article related for the other room.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really going to do you much good to have them both in the same order because they're different materials. So you're not going to get any kind of optimization help with that, but you certainly could, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't happen all the time, but every now and then we'll get jobs like that. Okay.
Yep, no worries. Any other questions? We understand the difference between the default value, which is the order related, versus the article related. Yeah. Well clear on that? Okay, good. Robert, I would say go back to a 2D wireframe so that and real quick, I want to go look at something. Go into your main data element manager. What do we have material for the doors? Is it Ranger board? Is that what it was? Go up into your
MDF, Ranger board, yes.
Yeah, go up into your Epley materials. Let's find that Ranger board. Where's it at? Plywood, some plywood. I don't know where you put it. Yeah, the Ranger board. So we've got this color principle MDF raw. Hit that ellipsis there. I think we didn't have a color principle for that.
Yeah.
For the display.
Yep. All right. Material. Let's try. Drop that box down. Make sure that that's in that list. Now, go ahead and select it again. Well, we got quite a few more in here now.
It's alphabetically.
It's called W_MDF00. Yep. Go find the W's.
Oh. I'm confused. We're looking for.
Yeah, I want you to just go pick it out of the list again and try to refresh it. We might be missing this JPEG too. I just want to find out so I can get it to you. Yeah, just select it right there. It's going to be alphabetical. You're going up. You need to go down. W_MDF.
Oh.
All right, browse that in Windows for me to your library folder. So C, Program Data, Home Aggie Solution Library, IVAS. Back up one and right click on that IVAS folder. Right click, go to properties. $953 files. Okay. Yeah, you're missing about 1,000 or so there. Okay, I sent you an email with this JPEG. Dump it in this IVAS folder real quick so we'll find it for this one, and I'm going to do a download for all of them because you're missing a bunch of them.
Load it and drop that picture to IVAS.
Yep, drop it into the IVAS folder. Yeah, it's called W. It's all the way at the bottom, W.
It's right there.
All right, close that. All right, go ahead and just pick another material real quick and then go back and reselect that WMDF and see if that refreshes it. There we go.
There it
All right,
is.
apply that. Yep, apply that. I'll send you all. You guys are missing a bunch. I'll send you a download. It's pretty big, so. Yep. All right, just save that and close. All right, refresh the article and then let's see your realistic view again. This door should look like that. All right, that's better. Yeah, I'll get you a download for all of them that you're missing. A restart of the program should refresh them all once you copy them in there. All right. Any more questions about order-related or article-related variables? We clear on the difference between the default, the order, and the article. Any questions about that? Everybody good?
I guess it will come up in the future.
All right, no worries.
Yeah. I mean, you know, hey, I don't think we all at this point remember everything. It's just we'll have to go back to the video and just, you know, do a few steps and.
Well, I mean, this is really a huge program. You can create anything you want, so there's quite a bit of data to it. Really, the toughest part that I think everybody finds is learning to navigate, finding where all the data is, what affects what, and it's really a practice thing. So the more you use it, the better you'll become at it. All right. I want to deal with your ladder style base real quick. Tell me what that looks like. Do you have a picture of it, a drawing somewhere? How you build that?
I'm sorry, Larry. Can you repeat that?
Your ladder style base. Do you have a drawing, a picture of how you build that?
Show him a copy of the base construction. How we do the base board. He wants to see how we do the baseboard.
How we do the baseboard?
Yeah. Show him the block. Show him the block we use.
You mean from the CAD, our regular drawing?
Yeah, I don't care if it's a PDF, a CAD drawing, whatever you got. Just I want to see how you assemble it.
Okay.
My mom's gonna be there.
I picked with the face frame construction at this point. Hold on. Right there.
Okay, so you have cleats on the top. They run across the front and the back. Do they also run front to back? On the ends or in between?
Yes. Yes, except this front piece that is applied, the solid wood, that should go all the way up. But this was modified for this job.
Right, I get it. Okay, and then you also have vertical pieces. Do you have a plan view of that maybe real quick?
No. Don't have plan view.
All right, can you do a snipping tool and send that to me?
How do I do that?
Go to your start menu where you can do a search. Type in SN, snipping tool. Okay, just draw a window around that base so I can see it.
Just click on new.
It's already new. Just draw a box around it. Yep. This will just create a JPEG. Just pick one corner. There you go. All right. Just save that as something and email it to me. You don't use snipping tool?
No, I do not.
It's pretty new. It's only been around about 12 years.
Cool.
It's a real quick way to make a JPEG of pretty much anything on your screen. All right, email that to me, and I'll put that together for your library also.
All right, it's on your way.
All right, tell me about countertops. What's your typical countertop construction?
Well, I guess, again, depends on the situation, but most of the time it's stone countered by others. Then if we do it, I guess it would be 3/4 flat plywood, laminated from the bottom with, let's say, 4 inches 3/4 strip, and then solid wood on my face. Is that correct?
Okay.
Yeah, but we don't use it too often. Usually it's a stone by others.
Okay, so you're just drawing a representation of it, so you can probably use the work surfaces in there for that. So that should work. If you do a build-up top, we have one in the library that you can work with. That's good.
I think the one that is in the library, I think it's fine.
All right. Cool. All right, so you saw how much work it took to adjust that base cabinet to your construction. So that's why I'm going to have you send me whatever you think is your database you're going to use for your master, and I'll update, because we got to do that to every cabinet. And I'll do that over the weekend for you, just to save time. We took so much time on the drawers. I want to get into look at your kitchen. All right, Rudy, take a look at that session 5. Everybody, is there anything on there else you want to cover? Or are we good on that? We can move on to looking at our kitchen. What are we doing here?
I think we're good.
Anybody have any questions about any of that? Variables or?
No,
All right.
I'm good.
All right, so we're going to go to take a look at our kitchen that we did. So everybody pull that up. And we'll actually be on the syllabus session 1. And we'll go ahead and take a break right here. Let you use the restroom, get a drink, stretch your legs, and then we'll cover this.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm waiting on you guys, so let me know when you're ready.
I think we're all good.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, we're
Is
good to
this
go.
your is this your kitchen, Robert?
Yes, it is.
All right, what are your questions?
I think I'll start with a very possibly simple one, how you modify walls. Let's say we have to extend walls. How do I make them longer? And if it's possible, the floor to follow.
Okay, so it's fairly easy. Go ahead and switch to a top view, plan view, world coordinate system. Okay, so just go ahead and select the wall, that wall you want to make larger or smaller. You see there's a grip on the end there. Just grab it and drag it, and how far do you want to go?
Okay, what about the floor?
I think the floor will work the same way. Honestly, I haven't tried it, but I think it does.
I moved it, everything moved. So like the whole floor is moving instead of being stretched.
Like I said, I've never tried changing the floor. Most of my customers don't use the floor. I'll have to look into that one for you. Can you do try doing a stretch command on it and stretching it? That's what I would try.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, so on the room tab, we've got to modify walls. Let's do that. Go ahead and select that wall that you stretched.
So here we have height and thickness.
Height and thickness.
I don't see the.
Try using that on the floor. See if it'll let you modify the floor. Like I said, I've not ever checked with the floors much.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to play
with
with that one. Let me play with the floor and I'll get back to you on it. I just have never messed with the floors much.
So I was wondering because how important it is to having the floor, but then when I did sections of my cabinets, obviously what I didn't do the section through the floor, I'm having cabinets like kind of hanging in the air. So I'm thinking floor is important, but I wasn't sure how I can modify that floor.
Yeah, I'll play with that. I mean, in a situation like that, remember this is AutoCAD, so you can always just draw a line, add it to your section there to represent your floor. It's not a big deal. But I'll play with them and see what I can do.
Okay. Then my other question was how to add soffit, because I tried to use soffit as walls, but it didn't really work. I was having like weird shapes. So then I used pilar, and it worked okay. And the only thing is that I'm not sure if this is proper way to do it.
Yeah, so really the easy way to do soffits is to go to Part Designer. And like this is going to be an L-shaped soffit, I guess. The soffit's L-shaped on this one.
I'm sorry, Part Designer everywhere?
I'm asking, is the soffit all the way around this, both walls here?
Yeah, let's say I could follow. I was going to follow the upper cabinets.
Okay, so yeah, just go to your, switch back to your plan view again. Just draw a polyline to represent the soffit. Okay. That's where you want to soffit?
Almost 1 second.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, do a closed polyline as if you were gonna, you know, actually make a part that shape.
Okay, I think I have it.
All right, so switch to an isometric view so you can see what you're doing there. All right, so off the part designer, we're going to do a contour part. All right, so you're going to pick your closed polyline. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so part thickness. How tall do you want the part to be?
6 inches.
Okay, so it's like 3 from the bottom part thickness. Okay. Keep thickness, yes. So keep thickness, the one below that, yeah. Right, and then offset. Offset value is how far up you want it. How far up on
No, this is measured. It's measured to the bottom of that 6 inches or to the top?
You see where the polyline is, so it's going to be to the top on that.
Oh, okay.
You'll graphically be able to see where it's at, so if you get it wrong, you can adjust it.
Okay, now I see it. That should be 90.
Okay.
And that's
then
it, right?
Yeah, then you can just green check it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if this is something just like you have create or installed wall and pilar the same way. If I can create it from polyline, that's fine.
Yeah, to me, I found that to be the easiest way to do a soffit. I can just create a polyline in the shape I want, make it the height, put it where I want it.
Okay, my other question, if I may, is how do I add 3D models or 3D blocks of appliances from different manufacturers? Let's say I have here a refrigerator. I basically import it as insert it as a block.
Okay. Good question. All right.
But then let's say I wonder if we could add those blocks to our main library. So in the future we just have them. We don't have to pick them up again from a website.
Yes, you can, and in fact, you can even add like a generic refrigerator, generic stove, generic microwave, and it can be parametric to a space. But yeah, they're pretty easy to add. So you've got the block of this refrigerator. Just go ahead and open up that drawing block.
Oh, 1 second. For example, this one.
Okay, so is this a 3D solid or is it an actual block? So right click and do properties on it. So it is a block reference. Okay. We may have to explode it, but we won't. We'll try it without exploding it first. Okay, go ahead and close that. All right, on your WoodCAD CAM Manager, we're on the first tab there.
Should I stay on that drawing?
Yeah, go back to that drawing. Yeah. So with the drawing open of your block, you'll see there on the first tab on the right, there's a little fancy F with an arrow next to it. Little speakers. See that?
Sorry, Larry, you're breaking up.
All right, so on the main tab, the insert tab, on the right side of the top of the tab, the WoodCAD CAM Manager. It says dockable container on the left side of your AutoCAD window. WoodCAD CAM Manager. No, move your mouse down. See where your library is? That's your WoodCAD CAM Manager. You see there are 3 tabs at the top of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're on the first tab, that's the insert tab, that's where your main library is. Below that, there are 5 buttons. To the right of that, there's a button that looks like a fancy F with an arrow. That's your features. Select that.
Okay.
So you want to do a new, it's called a purchase part. And do a new purchase parts. Okay. So the first thing you do is you hit the save button here on this window. Okay, and then you can place this wherever you like. There's if you look in the layout blocks there, see the folder for the layout blocks?
Okay.
Open that layout blocks up. So we have a bunch of these already. Open up the kitchen. So electric appliances. So there's a bunch of appliances in here. Put in your refrigerators. There's already some refrigerators in here. I think they're mostly Sub-Zeros and Frigidaires. All right, so just select that refrigerator folder. Hey, that's where I want it to go. It's a refrigerator. And then give this a name, whatever you're going to call it. Check it.
Oh, cannot be.
Yeah, you can't have the dash, I believe. Underscore, yeah, that should work.
Okay.
All right. Now you're going to hit the little hand button there. Yep, click that. So this wants to know where your insertion point for the block's going to be. When you pick this and you want to put it in the drawing, what's your insertion point? Okay, and then just select your objects that you want to be in the block. Yep, and enter. Okay, so now if you look in your layout blocks, that should be in there now. All right,
right there.
So go back to your order now and see if you can insert it in that drawing. You said, I'm not sure if we need to explode that block or not.
Double click.
Double click.
Ooh.
Ooh, I guess. Okay, so this is another problem that I discovered. Once I placed that refrigerator into my drawing, and then I wanted to add another block. Oh, stop, I'm gonna crash. Anyway, so when I inserted the refrigerator from Sub-Zero, and then when I wanted to add another appliance, it kept bringing me the same refrigerator that I used on the first place.
Really? Let's see here. Which one were you using?
So I used IC36, or the one just now, that was ID24F.
Yeah, no, the one that you said when you used it a second, when you picked a different one, it used the same one originally you used. Which ones were you picking? You said it was Sub-Zero or something?
First I used Sub-Zero refrigerator, IC24. And then I wanted to drop, for example, dishwasher or another appliance. And it would bring me the same very first Sub-Zero I chose the first time.
These are the ones you're picking out of the library, or these were your blocks?
There were blocks copied from Sub-Zero's website.
Yeah, I mean, my guess is they probably, yeah, my guess is they probably have the same block reference, so it was already defined. But open up the one you did first. Let's see that. You said you brought one in, and you brought another one. Let's see the one you brought in first.
I think I'm about to crash. Yep.
Listen to him. Are you gonna get it today? Tomorrow. Idiots, when idiots. Tomorrow is let's see.
So Larry, this is the first refrigerator that I dropped in. And then I wanted to drop range, for example. And it kept bringing me the same refrigerator all the time.
Okay, do a list on that refrigerator for me, LIST. Just type LIST. So this block name is IC36RIDR8. All right, do a list on the other one. Do a list on the range.
Yeah, but this range is from the library, from Woodcat Camp.
Okay.
So it's not the one, because
I got you.
I couldn't bring another block.
My guess is they have the same block reference. So once you bring a block reference into a drawing, that block reference is set. If you bring in another drawing that has the same block reference, it's going to just pull up the original. Without opening both drawings, I can't really tell.
Okay. All right. That's good enough.
So let's try this. Open up that original one we did. Let's try exploding the block this time.
Open it in new order or here?
Just open AutoCAD. AutoCAD open. So we'll open it, explode it, and we'll purge out the block reference. That way we don't have to. It won't be in there anymore. Yep, explode it. Okay, now do a purge, P-U-R-G-E. And these are issues you run into when you get somebody else's drawing sometimes. So let's purge everything out of it. Okay, close. All right, now just save this drawing with a different name, ID 24F2 or something like that, so you don't mess up your original drawing. All right, isometric view. Nope,
Oh,
stay on this drawing. Stay on this drawing. Give me an ISO view on it. All right, let's close the properties box over here. We don't need that anymore. We need your WoodCAD cam up, so load your. Oh, you have that drawing open in another AutoCAD?
Oh yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, close it out of there, open it up in WoodCAD cam. Just do an open drawing of WoodCAD cam.
Okay.
Okay, let's get rid of the one we made earlier in the layout block. Open the layout blocks in kitchen refrigerators.
This one?
No. On your WoodCAD cam manager in your library, layout block, kitchen refrigerators. Yeah, select that one that you made, just right click on it and delete it. All right. We're just going to open that drawing. I'm just going to open the drawing up here in WoodCAD cam of that thing you want to make the, yep, that ID, yep. All right, go to your features, new, purchase part. Okay, save it. Yep. You want to make sure that it's a different name than the actual drawing that you're using. One thing you can't do is that'll make a circular reference, so make sure it's a different name. There you go. Yep, pick your folder you want to put it in. With the hand, where do you want to insert it? Insertion point first. Okay, and then just do a window around the whole thing. Enter. All right, now let's go over to your order. Let's see if we can insert it without having a double reference there.
So the size.
Go back to your original drawing. What size is this drawn in metric?
Shouldn't be. I mean, I always import from Sub-Zero, and they are This is metric.
Okay, yeah, it's in metric. So let's scale it down. It's okay. We'll just redefine it. Yeah, get rid of your dimension line there. So let's do a scale. Pick a base point you want to scale from. Yep, first select it all. Yeah, base point. Okay, 0.03937. 0.03937. Okay, save the drawing. Just do a quick save or whatever. Yeah, that's fine. All right.
Yep.
Feature. New purchase part.
Delete now.
No, we're just going to override it this time.
Okay.
Yeah, so just pick it out of the list. Yeah, just pick it out of the list. Okay, base point first. Okay, and then window everything. Enter. All right. Back to your kitchen. Now, did you insert the other one actually? Or did you cancel it? Don't remember? Just do a purge. Let's see if it's in. Yeah, let's do a purge. Let's see if it's in the blocks there. So open up your blocks. The plus sign by blocks up there.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yep, purge that out. Just purge it. Okay, close. All right, now try to put it in from your library.
That's it.
Yeah. So yeah, you do have to make sure that that you explode. If it's already a block, when you open that drawing, make sure you explode that block and save it. And then whatever name, and of course purge out all the crap that's in that drawing, so you don't have any loose information. And then when you save it, you just need to have another name other than the drawing. Otherwise, you get a circular reference. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you want to try? Yeah. You want to try another one real quick, just to make sure you got it? Got another one you want to do?
Sure.
Once you do 2 or 3, they're really easy to do. The problem is you're getting the drawing from somebody else. If you draw it yourself, you don't have that problem, right?
Right.
Right. So close this. Open up another refrigerator or whatever you want there that you want to use. Another appliance drawing. So first of all, is it drawn metric or imperial? Okay, so you're going to want to scale it down.
Sorry, what was that number?
This is 0.3937. 0.3937, yeah. All right. And it's probably a block, so you want to explode it. Yep, it is. All right, now purge the drawing of everything. Purge all items. Okay, I save the drawing. Okay, feature, new, purchase part. Just remember, whatever you call it for your library is going to be different than what this drawing's called. Basically, we're just making a block out of a block, if you will. So it has to have a unique name, or it's a circular reference.
There it is.
Okay, then of course you can just insert that in any order you want to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, now let me show you this. These things, if you want to, use one of these for something similar, but it's a little different size, you don't want to make a new block. Watch this. Go ahead and do a new article, new top view article for me. And we'll take this default size. Give me well, actually, you can just leave it like this. Go down to divider drawers. So make this whole thing an article zone. Just one article zone. Hit your ellipsis. Just hit your ellipsis there. Go pick that one you just made out of your layout blocks. So this is quite a bit bigger than what it was originally. Yep, green check. All right, now green check. Save it, no, just draw it in somewhere. So it actually takes that block and scales it to fit whatever space you select.
But I can easily resize it now.
Yeah, and of course, if you want the actual one, just like you just did, get the drawings from the manufacturer. And of course, if you go change width, height, and depth on this, it'll just scale that block to whatever size that opening is.
Okay, great.
All right, what other questions did you have?
Now, for example, when I did the elevation views and here was range from the library taken, and it doesn't show up at all. I was wondering if we'll have any view of appliances or not.
Yeah, no, that's a bug in the system that's been reported and it hasn't been corrected yet. For that, you're just going to have a 2D block to represent it, draw a rectangle or something in there, whatever you're going to use, until they get that fixed. It's a bug. For whatever reason, it's not creating those 2D elevation plan views of the appliances.
Okay.
I wish I had a different answer. I can lie to you if you want me to, but that's the truth.
Oh, that's fine. Now, if I'm here, I had the...
So again, you're in AutoCAD, if you want to just draw something in 2D and stick it in your elevation, it'll work fine. What else did you have?
Now let's say I have problems with the dimensioning those views.
Okay.
So I tried auto dimension. I tried auto dimension first, and my numbers were like way bigger. They were just covering the whole elevation. So I didn't know how to change that scale it down.
Okay. So it's working off of a particular dim style for the auto dimensioning. Up here on your toolbar, it's about on all the tabs except for System and Room. You'll see a section called Tools, where you have your 2D wireframe, and you can change to realistic. And right above that says Part Dimensioning Quick, and there's a drop-down menu there. Yep, Dimension Parameters. So when you use the auto dimensioning, it uses the standard principle with this dim style. You've got selected IMOS dim. Of course, you can create your own dim style and select that if you want to. It also uses, there's a little checkbox for reference length. They're doing some type of weird scaling depending on, you know, how much you're zoomed in or out on that particular article. So let's do an experiment here. And then of course these other values show you distance to dim line and all that. It uses those. All right, go ahead and red X out of this. Auto dimension one of those elevations. So you have two different automatic dimensioning off your drawing views tab. You have view dimensioning and you have section dimensioning. And they give you two different stats. So let's try the view dimensioning first. Okay. Up on the third button that says article annotation, there's a drop down. Go ahead and drop that down and hit delete annotation and pick one of those dimensions. I would get rid of all of them. All right, now zoom in a lot closer, make it really big in the screen there before you dimension. Zoom in more. All right, now do view dimensioning. Okay, zoom out so you can see it.
Oh, interesting.
So they're doing some kind of weird scaling, and I haven't got a good explanation from the Germans of what they're doing. So based on how much you're zoomed in and out, basically the scale that you're at, they're adjusting the dimensions based on that. So for me, what I like to do is I like to uncheck that box so I can control it myself. Then it doesn't do that scaling for me. So go ahead and delete the annotation there. All right, go to your dimension parameters, drop that box down, dimension parameters. Nope, it's over there by the part dimensioning quick in that drop down. Oh, looks like we lost Brian. All right, uncheck that box for reference length.
Okay.
All right, green check.
Save changes, yes.
Yep, save changes. All right, now zoom out just a little bit on this, so you're a little further out. So like before, when you were zoomed out a little bit, it made the dimensions really big. All right, now try your view dimensioning. So now it's not doing that scaling.
Okay, better.
So it's a little more realistic. And of course, it's just a dim style, so you can modify the dim style. If you don't want arrows, you want ticks. Go back up to the dimension parameters. So let's make some changes here so you can see how this works. All right, so they have the info text height at 0.5965. Let's change that to, we'll say a 16th, 0.0625. Distance dim line to dim line. Yeah, you can probably change, let's change that to maybe an 8th. You'll have to kind of play with it, see what looks good for you. Leading 0. Distance dim line to dim line is pretty small. Let's go with, let's say 12. No, not an 8th, let's go 12 inches.
Oh.
And we'll change the next one to 12 also. We'll make it quite a bit bigger. All right, green check that and save it. All right, delete your annotation and we'll redo the view dimension. Okay. And then of course you can go right into the dim style and you can modify your text and font and all that kind of good stuff. And you'll just have to play with it till you get what you really like. Or maybe you've got a dim style that you do like. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this auto dimensioning. There's just not enough controls over what I want to mention and how I want to dimension. And of course, there's nothing that says you can't dimension in AutoCAD like you did also.
Okay then, so regardless auto dimensioning, I tried to dimension manually, and I modified a little bit of one of the setups. I created my own, and then when I dimensioned something, it didn't give me the same look of my dimensions. It was usually bigger numbers. Let's say if I try to dimension this again. Of course, now it works. I wonder if maybe that scaling that we turned off has something to do with it.
Yeah, I think it does. Go back up and recheck the box and try that again. It probably will be different. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't really know why they put that in there, but I'm certainly not a big fan myself. Yeah, just recheck the box and dimension it just like you just did. It seems to be, yeah, it is bigger.
It is bigger.
So, yeah, that's really affecting that. So, like I said, I usually tell everybody to uncheck that box, leave it unchecked, and then you can set your dim style the way you want it to be.
Okay, so if we are here, I was wondering how to change the description of the view.
Okay, so click on it, right-click Properties. Yep, scroll on down. Yep, scroll on down there.
Oh, there it is.
Just click in there and change it. There's not any way, there's no controls to change what it does automatically. So if you want to change that, then you have to go manually change it.
Okay, that works.
What did you do?
Accidentally did it. Okay, hold on. Okay, now other question would be, when we have, for example, when we created an article, we placed it in our room, and now I want to use the same article in some other spot. Can I easily just copy the same article, or I have to pick it again from the library?
So there's three things you can do. You could, number one, save it to your library. It's a new model that I want, so I can pick it from the library. You could draw in something else and then replace it with this guy. Or you can just turn article mode on and copy it and make a copy of it. So probably the easiest, probably the easiest thing is article mode. Turn your article mode on. You know where the article mode is? All right, down at the bottom of your AutoCAD window where it shows your model space and all your buttons down there.
Oh,
one, two, three, four. Yeah, that one right there. So with that on, you can use AutoCAD commands. Now you can just copy it. Just use an AutoCAD copy.
Okay, and it's still parametric. It doesn't lose the parametric values.
Yep, no, not at all. You can go to modify article and it'll modify like any other article, change the width, height, depth, whatever you want to do to it. It makes it an exact copy. What that article mode does is it connects your AutoCAD command to your database. Without that on, you're just doing AutoCAD copying solids. But with that on, it copies all the data also.
Okay, so even I could mirror it to the other side of the room at this point.
You know what? I haven't tried it. Let's try it. Article mode on. Let's do a mirror command. I've never tried mirror with that. Good question. I might learn something today.
Seems to be fine.
Let's modify the article and see what it does. I think it's going to be fine, but yeah. Let's change the width and the depth on it and redraw it. Just curious if it'll flip it around.
What?
Yeah, we haven't actually sectioned that, so let's say no. Oh, so that modified the original. Interesting. Go to your details tab. That's the little globe tab at the top of the manager. Let's do an article selection, that third button there. Pick that cabinet you mirrored over. So it didn't actually work when it mirrored it. It just mirrored the solids.
Right.
So I'm gonna say mirror no. But you should be able to copy it and then rotate it around. Let's go and pick the other one that you just copied. Let's see what that looks like. So select article. Okay, so see that one worked okay. So I would say use your move and rotate that 180 degrees in Z. Down in your methods here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that last button on the bottom. That's the rotation. And rotate it 180. Enter. Green check it. Yep.
I'm guessing, yeah.
Okay, and then of course you can use your article. Yeah, you can use your article mode now to move it wherever you want to. So move, copy, rotate works, but mirror does not.
Yeah, looks like Tokic is messed up.
Yeah, the contiguous part. Yeah, I think if you refresh it, if you refresh article, it should go where it should be.
Oh, yep. Okay, great.
Yeah, so it looks like the mirror is not going to work. It's just mirroring the solids. It's not giving me the data, but the copy does give us the data. I'm glad you asked me the question. I had never tried mirror.
I don't know. Somebody else, maybe? Other questions?
Is that all your questions?
Well, I probably could continue. I drew a top, and this top is just, I picked it from the library. So it's done different way than we learned on the very first lesson. And
Okay.
I wanted to cut a hole in it for the sink, because now when I'm having, let's say in shaded view, oh, I got it. I'm losing this cabinet now.
It's ghosted out. All right, go back to your T wireframe. So remember when we did, I think it was it yesterday? Yesterday we did we cut the hole in the cabinet. Same thing with the top. So switch to your plan view, top view, world coordinate system. Just draw a polyline for the hole you want to cut.
Could it be just a rectangle?
Yeah, doesn't matter. Whatever shape you want to cut it. I mean, obviously it's a sink. It needs some rounded corners if you really want to cut it, but yeah, rectangle will work.
Okay.
Okay. So get an ISO view so you can see that deck of that top. Okay. And we're going to go to our details tab, part selection. Select that part. You need to turn your article mode off so you can select a part, though. Just going to select the whole article. With article mode, it picks the whole article. You can't just pick parts. Turn your article mode off.
Okay. And select the top.
Yeah, select the part that you want to cut. That's the edge. Did you split the top? Oh, that's the top? Okay.
Yeah.
Pick it. All right. So down in your methods, transfer AutoCAD elements. Yep. As inner contour, double click that. Okay. Now select your polyline that you drew.
Where is it?
It's up there on top. It's up on top of the uppers.
Oh.
Yeah, remember, it doesn't matter where it is in relation to the part as long as it's there.
So I got to this point and somehow it didn't work for me. I got to this point. It should be through hole.
Through hole. Yeah. All right. So, yep, just go ahead and green check it. Looks like it's there. So sometimes it's easier to isolate things. So just right click in AutoCAD. Isolate elements, just pick the top. Yeah, there you
go. It's there, perfect. All right, whatever I've done, I messed up something.
Yeah. No, and just remember though that if you really want to, run this on the CNC and cut that, you want to actually draw the polyline with the radius corners that you want for the actual cutout, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. So right click again and then show. You can go to isolate and show all elements. Do you have more questions?
Maybe one would be, I added those two side panels. So for that, I used, there were fillers. Yes, fillers, base or upper. So I modified those, but I'm not sure if this is really proper way because they originally looked like an L shape. So I just increased the depth, whatever I needed. So it's basically, right now it's like thick, flat panel.
Gotcha.
Is there any proper way or other way, proper way to build fillers?
So for an in panel like this, if it was me, I would do a new top view article and I would just make one. So you'll, do a new top view article and put a left side in, set up your part definition for your material and save that as a left in panel and do one for the right in panel. Then you can pick it out of your library.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Yeah, anything that you're using over and over again, you want to go to Article Designer and make you an article, save it to your library so you can reuse it. Just, particularly for material, make sure you use a variable so you can change the material as needed.
So I guess that's all I have.
Okay, switch to a top view for me. You don't really have anything that would really help.
Oh, maybe one more thing. I'm looking at this floor now. So when I'm doing the sections through the floor and cabinetry, the floor is just, is there any way to cut the floor so it's not that long? Or let's say stays with the limit of the cabinet?
No, not really.
Let's say.
Yeah, it's really drawn in like a part, so it just does a section for the whole part. But when you do your viewport, just shrink your viewport up so you only see as much as you want, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, it's when you do a section through it and you pick something, it does a section through that whole part, whatever it is. Start a new order for me. I do want to show you this real quick. Start a new order for me. All right, let's do a new top view article. Make me a typical base cabinet. Yeah, let's make the width like 48. Yep, top, bottom, left, right, and a back, and then put me a vertical partition in there. Okay. Yep, you just do it 1-to-1, it'll be fine.
Virtual?
No, a real partition. Okay, now you got your 2 zones now. So on the left side, give me 3 drawers. Oh, divider drawers, yep. Second tab. Just go 1:1:1, it'll be fine. No, 1:1:1. Remember, you're specifying the drawer front height. Just make them equal. Enter. On the right side, put me a fixed shelf. This is what I would call a side-by-side, where we have really 2 different sections on the cabinet. All right, draw that up. Give me a plan, elevation, and cut me a section through the shelf. Yep. 2D plan, 2D elevation.
What is that coloration that we were told not to use it?
Yeah, you can use it. It gives you a really, go ahead and turn it on. It really gives you a funky kind of shading on it. But go ahead and turn it on if you want to.
Oh, that's fine.
You can play with all this stuff to see what it does. I don't like the coloration myself, but cut it through the side with the shelves. No, give me an elevation, front elevation. Yep, that's fine. Perfect. Now do me a section through the side with the shelving. Either way, it doesn't matter which way you cut it. Enter. That's me for a section. Yeah, so that's what it does with the coloration.
Okay.
All right, and you can turn that off. If you go to refresh section on drop down where your 2D elevation view is, you can always modify your sections any way you want. First button, first drop down, yep. Do a refresh view. Now pick that section. So your box comes up so you can turn it off. Just hit enter.
Oh, I selected again.
I don't think you have to. Did you hit enter?
Oh,
there you
go. Okay.
All right. Now let's say that we decided, you know what, we don't really need this section. It's just a shelf. We really wanted to cut the section through the drawers. So I want you to take AutoCAD and move the section line, the arrows, and the letters. Just use an AutoCAD move command and move them over through the drawers. Okay. Now use your refresh view on that section. Or you're just refreshing the elevation. Refresh the section. There you go. Just hit enter.
Wow.
So you can always move that section line if you need to with your AutoCAD. All right, let's try this now. Zoom out a little bit. So there on the 3D, we've got this cabinet. Let's draw a one-door base and put it right next to that cabinet. So pick that cabinet as a reference, put it on the left side. Select the cabinet. Select it somewhere, yep. See how you can go left, right, top, bottom. You got more room on the left, but right's fine. All right, so we've got something that we've already submitted and the architect came back and added a cabinet to it. And now I want to update my plan and my elevation. Okay, so we're going to do refresh view. Pick the elevation or the plan, either one. See the little plus? Nope. Refresh view again. You went too fast. See, there's a plus sign there at the bottom of that box. Hit the plus sign and then pick the 3D of that cabinet that you just added. Enter.
Wow.
You do the same thing on the plan view. I pick the 3D. Yep.
Nice.
Okay. So you have lots of options for updating your 2D all the time. Questions about that?
No, it's good.
Yeah, I think if they would give me some more control over the auto dimensioning, I'd like that a lot better. It's pretty good the way it is, but I'd like to see a little more control on it. All right, does anybody else have questions about this exercise? Anything at all? And that's the whole point of this exercise, is so we can develop some questions. Did everybody fall asleep, Robert?
Oh, they seem to be awake.
What about AutoCAD tags like the elevation tags? Could we change them to ours, or are we just gonna have to use those
Yep. No, you can change them. So they're stored in a couple different places. Robert, I want you to browse out on your Windows Explorer to see Program, Data, Home Aggie Solutions. So those are just drawing blocks. It's in the WoodCAD CAM OEM 12. Nope, yep, that one. Config. All right, sort by type there. All right, so we have these blocks. There's your IMOS section symbol, section arrow, surface arrow. All right, open up the section symbol, IMOS section symbol. The second from the last drawing there, IMOS section symbol. Let's open that up. That's just an arrow. Open the one right below it, section SYM.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so if you don't like, this is the one that gets placed when you're doing your elevations. If you want to use something different, you just modify this drawing. It's just a block.
Okay.
Okay, there are some more. Go ahead and browse out in Windows again for me. See Program, Data, Home Aggie Solution, and Library. ATT DWG. Okay, so these are the other blocks that are used. So they're stored in those two different places. There's not very many of them, about 10 altogether. But you're certainly welcome to open them up and modify them any way you want to.
Okay.
So they're just blocks. They're getting brought in as blocks. So, okay, does that answer your question?
Yep. Thanks.
Other questions? All right, let's go back to that drawing where we had let's do the drawing where we had the two cabinets in it, when we just did that last drawing. It was drawing 3. All right, so let's say that we're ready to put this out to the shop. We want to go to the CNC, and you guys aren't set up on that yet, but I'm going to show you the process. It's fairly simple. So we're going to go to the System tab, Save Order As. In this case, he doesn't have the order saved, so he'll give it a name. Just call it CNC Test for now. So this is one of the two places where you have to use underscores. You can't use spaces. Here in variables, you have to use underscores. Everywhere else, you can use spaces. All right, give the order a name. ABC is fine. Okay. So we've got our order. It's saved. We've submitted it. Everything's approved. We've made adjustments. And now we are ready to go to the shop. So with the order open, we're going to once again go to Save Order As. Bottom right in the properties, we're going to check 2 boxes: Automatic Program Generator and Process Data Transfer.
Process data transfer?
Process data transfer. So what these 2 boxes do, the automatic program generator does a couple of things. If you're going out to cut right for nesting, it'll create a DXF file. If you're going directly to, say, point to point, then it's just going to generate programs directly for the machine. Again, if we're going to cut right for either saw or nested base, the process data transfer creates a .pnx file that's used by cut right. Tells it what the material is, size of the part, edge banded, barcodes, all that kind of info, and things that we need for labels. So we'll check those two boxes. We're going to green check. We say, hey, this order already exists. Do you want to save it again? Yes, we do. So it saves the drawing in the order, and then it opens up what we call the APG, or the automatic program generator. Okay, and then any and all machines you have will be in here. Right now this says, oh, drop the box down there. So right now all we have is a standard NPR. Once we get the machine hooked up, you'll see your machine here. We'll leave it on all for now. Go ahead and hit start. So that runs through and analyzes everything, generates code for machines, DXF files, whatever is needed. Once it's done, the report and support file buttons turn black, and then you can just say close. Go ahead and hit the close there, Robert. Okay. And then we generate that PNX file, and you'll get a report once all the files are created. Okay. So for now, all we really created was some MPR files, and we can go look at those. Go ahead right now and browse out to your C drive, program data. Home Aggie Solution, Factory, NC data, standard MPR. And you'll, and of course we can pass this wherever you want to, but it's going to create a folder with the name of the order, and then either DXFs or programs, whatever we're going to use that for. Right now this is just going to have MPR files. Go ahead and open the folder up. Go ahead and open the folder, Robert. And of course, if we're generating code directly for your machine, these will be your machine's file extension. If we're doing nesting, then we'll see DXF files in here. It'll be used by CutWrite, and we'll open CutWrite then and do our nesting. And once we get your machine set up, we'll go through this again and create some actual code and then some tests and all that good stuff. All right, you can exit out of this. So we've created everything we need for the shop, we'll say. And now we want to generate some reports. We have some standard reports inside of WCAT CAM in your database. We're going to go to the Output tab.
Main data?
Nope, Output. All the way on the right there. Okay, on the left you'll see Document Manager. You're going to select Document Manager. We have different document principles in here. Most of the reports are set up on standard, so we'll select standard and green check. The command line says to select objects, so we just window everything that we want reports on. Typically, it's the whole project. So just draw a window around the 3D there. And hit enter. Whoa. Then it goes through and it creates just a ton of files that are used by the reports, and you see it's grabbing those the same gem style.
Looks like we'll be having problems with dimensioning right now.
Yeah, we'll take care of that. Don't worry about that. All right. So once it's done, we've generated all the info used by the report templates. Now we're going to hit that first button, Part List. And this will bring up a list of all your stock reports. Maybe a good one to look at is that toward the bottom, F Part List.
Can you repeat it?
The part list.
SF parts list. It's down toward the bottom.
San Francisco part list.
Hit the check mark at the top left. It'll give you a preview. This brings up a stock report based on all the information that we just created. So it's got isometric view, it's got all the part information, barcode, individual part drawings. So these are all stock reports. The report builder that's used for these was installed when we installed the software. So they can be modified, something we'll get into later down the road. X out of that. Rudy, what I would say is once we get your process worked out, we get down to talking about reports, we'll probably want to do a sample, 1 or 2 cabinets, and then print off every report that's available and kind of do an evaluation of what you want and what you don't want.
Okay.
All right, you can go ahead and close this. I want to show you one more thing before we call it a day here. So let's say that, Robert, you have the 2 orders. You have this one plus your kitchen, where you've got 2D drawings in it. So let's say we had a very large project, and you did part of it, and Steve did part of it, and Ray did part of it, and Rudy did part of it. So we broke it up into different orders, and now I want to bring all those 2D drawings into one master drawing for submittal. Okay? So start me a new order. Okay, do a save order as. Just call this master drawings or something. Okay, so we'll just start with a blank drawing using your template. On the drawing views tab, for the drawing views
can you repeat your break?
Drawing views tab. One where you did your 2D plan, elevation, section, all that. There you go. All right, to the right of article annotation, there are 3 buttons. The first one says Import Views. Select that. All right, so we're going to pick your kitchen that you did. Yeah, green check it. So that brings in all your 2D drawings and places them. Go ahead and escape. Import views again, and go pick that one with the 2 cabinets we just did, the CNC test. So this also has 2D drawings. So it brings those in and places them. Escape. Yeah. So these are just XREFs. Of course, you can move them around wherever you want to. And they are associated back to the original order. So if you make a change on the original order, update these drawings. And yeah, just let you put all the 2D drawings in here and make them master submittal. Give me an isometric view on that, Robert. You see, it doesn't bring the 3D, just the 2D stuff down.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so this will let you do a master. If you broke a big job up into a bunch of orders and you want to put them all in one sheet set so you can print them all at one time, that's how you would do that. All right?
Yep.
Any final questions there? Take a look at that session 1. If there's anything you want to go back over, let's do it real quick.
I just got one question.
Sure.
How do you handle edge tape? No, sorry, no, not edge tape. Sheet thickness compensation. If we using 3/4 maple, but when it actually comes in, it's like 7.1 or 7.2 thickness.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So I've got a material set up. I'm buying from one supplier, and I buy it from a different supplier. Now it's a different thickness, right?
Yeah.
So the best thing to do with that is to create a variable. Go to your main data element manager and find me one of those materials that you guys made. Just any one of them. So if you'll click in the thickness field over there, just put your mouse in there and click where it says 3/4. Yeah. Now if you right click, you see you can go pick a variable. So what I typically like to do is to set up a variable for materials that I know vary in thickness based on manufacturer. And then I can just at the order level, hey, this job we're using Ranger board and bought it from somebody else and it's a little thinner, a little thicker. Then I can just adjust the variable. And there you go.
Okay. All right.
That answer your question?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's probably the easiest way to do it. Just set up variables for your materials that, if you're buying two-sided 3/4 white melamine, it's probably not going to vary no matter what the manufacturer is. But some materials are, particularly plywood. So set up variables for those materials that do vary on a regular basis. And then you can just change that at the order level and refresh it right before you go to the shop, and you'll get the right thickness.
Good. Thank you.
No problem. Other questions? And guys, we are far and away not done with training. This is just the intermediate. We still have a lot to go, right?
Right.
Rudy, are you okay signing off sessions 5 and 1 now for me? Anything you want to go over that we didn't? Need clarification on anything? Rudy? Somebody wake him up.
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted. Yeah, I'm good. I'll sign off and I'm okay.
Okay, great. So sign those off and send those over to me. I want to look here. I'm pretty sure we already have a preset schedule for you guys. I'm going to look and see what it is real quick. Do you have that? I think Lisa submitted it.
Where is it?
So I'm showing the 21st and 22nd. We're supposed to be doing your integration, setting up your machines. And
I don't have the updated dates.
Yeah, I have on-site training the 4th, 5th, and 6th of September. It's 3 days. And then the week of the 18th, we have 5 more online sessions.
Larry, this is Steve. Next week we got self-directed training. Anything you specifically want us to, or just practice?
So yeah. So for the self-directed training, what I'm going to do is, in fact, I'm going to ask you right now, Rudy, you need to make. Everybody's been working local on their own. We want to make one of those databases the master. Who should I grab? I want to grab that today.
You're making a good database?
Yeah. All of you have your own database. We need to put it up on the server. So I need one of those to be the master.
Did yours come out good?
Somebody that's done everything up to this point. Rudy, yours, Roberts, Ray.
So Larry, I think out of everybody, I think mine is probably has the best, but I'm not 100% sure. It's perfect.
Okay, is this who's talking? Is this Rudy?
This is Rudy, yes.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, I just need one of them. I'm going to go through this weekend and I'm going to adjust all your casework for that that back situation that you guys have. As you saw, that was a lot of work just for one cabinet, and it'll be a lot of work for you guys to do. So I'll just knock that out for you, so you don't have to worry about it. But I want to make sure that that's the one we use for the masters that we're going to put on the server. So let me switch over to you, Rudy, and I'll grab yours.
Okay.
All right, and then to answer your question, I want you guys to work on, we need material set up. We've only got a couple of materials, so work on setting up materials. And then other than that, really it's just a matter of working with the program. You know, grab something that, a cabinet that's kind of weird. And, wow, feedback. Grab something that's kind of weird. It's not your standard box, and I want you to try to put that together with your construction. That'll generate more questions. And I'm actually going to be out on site in Newark this next week. Where are you guys located?
20 minutes from Newark.
Awesome. Well, so I'll be out on site. I'll be hard to get a hold of. You can certainly text me. I'll answer text, you know, when I get a break, and I'll answer all my emails in the evening. So if you get stuck on something, shoot me an email. All of you feel free to do that, and I'll be happy to answer questions.
Okay. Will do.
All right. Rudy, we're going to grab your database, so shut your WoodCAD cam down for me. The rest of you, if you don't have any more questions, thanks a lot, guys. And like I said, we'll be hooking up the machines in a couple of weeks and be out on site that first week of September. Yeah, and I do want to email you. I'm just going to send it to you, Rudy. I'm going to get you that whole IRIS folder.
Okay.
All right, Rudy, open up your organizer for me. Yep, connect. So at the top, go to the Administration tab there. On the left, you're going to select Database. Yep. And we're going to backup database. Save locally. Yep, perfect. Next.
Is it done that fast?
Doesn't seem like it did anything. Try that again. Backup database. Save locally. Let's pick a different location. You must have the names out already there. Just put it on your desktop. Be fine. All right, next.
Nice.
Zippity-doo-dah. All right. Close this. Close this. We'll go to Plan B here. Go to your Start menu.
Start menu?
Yeah, Start menu. All programs. And we're looking for SQL Server 2014. Microsoft SQL Server. Yeah, open that up. The SQL Server Management Studio.
Connect.
Nope, we're going to change from Windows authentication to SQL Server authentication. Drop that box down. Yep. Username is all caps. IMOS admin. IMOS admin. Password
What's the password?
It's all lowercase. IMOS. And then check that box. Remember password. Connect. All right, the plus sign by databases. Going to select Epley. Right click on it, tasks, and we're going to back up. And where's it going? MSSQ. No, back up. Epley back. Okay, just hit OK there. That's fine. Okay. You can't close this now. So C drive, program files. Microsoft SQL Server. Nope. Oh. Microsoft SQL Server. Yep. MSS. Yep. MSSQL. Yep. Backup. All right. There that is. All right. Right click on that and send that to a zip folder. Right click and send to compressed file. Send to compressed zip folder. That's good. 13 meg. Can you email 13 meg?
I think we could send 50 meg.
All right.
So I could put it on Google Drive and share it. You could try it.
Yeah, try emailing it first, and if not, then we'll do that. But I think it should email. Most servers can do 20 meg.
Still uploading. All right, it's on its way.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so I'll take that and I'll adjust all your casework for your back, and finish ends. We'll do the full data. We'll set it up on value so it's easy to switch, and then I'll get it back to you over the weekend. I should have time somewhere. One of my daughters is getting married tomorrow, so as soon as we get done here, I'm heading over to we're heading over to the rehearsal this evening, a rehearsal dinner, and then the wedding's tomorrow. But I should have some time in the morning before the wedding to be able to get it done.
Okay. All right, no problem. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. So I'll get that done. I'll get it back to you, and I'll give you some instructions for uploading it put it back on your thing. Has Russ ever gotten to you for the server installation?
No, he didn't reach out to me, but I spoke to Bill Waters yesterday. He called, and I remind him to remind Russ also. He said Russ was busy doing something for them, so he said he'll get back to me by next week. Okay.
Yeah, they probably
Bill Waters.
Yeah, since they had the AWFS last month, man, we're just swamped. So we're probably just trying to find a time somebody's available to do it. That's all.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll get that done right away. So I'm going to say, have the guys give them some exercises if they can't find something to do. Keep them in it an hour or so a day anyway, so they don't forget stuff.
Yeah.
And if they're wondering what they want to do, make up some weird thing and have them build it.
Okay.
Be good for them.
All right.
Hey, if that doesn't work, grab a job that's coming up and say, hey, do this room for me. Put it all together, 2D plan, elevation, section, paper space, it all good stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to start doing. Grabbing some jobs and getting it in the works.
Yeah, that's absolutely the best. Just practice some real world stuff.
Yeah. Okay, good.
All right, sir. Yeah. Well, no worries. I'd say if you get a chance, hit me up while I'm in Newark. Maybe we'll go to dinner one night.
Yeah. Okay.
If you get a chance.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Do you have a cell phone number that I could call if I get hung up on something working on this database? I got a question. I took a bunch of notes, but never know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's 973.
Yeah, will you just email it over to me? That way I got it.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll do that.
All right, perfect. And I'll respond back with my you have my cell phone already? I'll respond back with my cell phone so you can get a hold of me.
Okay. All right.
All right, buddy. I'll be looking for those sign-offs. I appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Yep, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.